Right, hello. How are we all doing? Happy New Year, as it is. Hope everyone has enjoyed the festive period. And now we are back into our routines. I've had a little bit of a break in regards to any sort of filming or YouTube that I put up for a while. So I'm not going to apologise because nobody really cares. But I am going to start the new year off with a what's in my gym bag. And it's hopefully going to be helpful to people that are getting into training, maybe looking to get some new fitness items that are going to help with the training. And I'll give my opinion in terms of what would be quite beneficial to people starting off with training and what might be something that you'd invest with maybe later down the line as you get further into it. Alrighty. So, first things first, the gym bag itself is from the one and only Heavy Duty Gymwear. Very robust, very sturdy. It's got a carry strap, got a nice large pocket at the front, and then plenty of room on the inside. So, first thing I'm going to pick out, this is literally my gym bag that I've just pulled up off the gym floor, and I'm just going to go for it now. Not set this up before filming. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies that I have these items from. These are just things I have acquired over 20 years of lifting, and I have invested in myself because I feel like they are beneficial and going to aid my training. So I have, these are elbow sleeves. These are just single ply, so they're not going to do too much of the lifting for me. You can get elbow sleeves of different thickness and different strengths. These I just have as a slight support and also to keep the area quite warm and get the area warm, should I say, as I start training. So elbow sleeves, I would say, are highly recommended in regards to when you've got into, you don't need to go and buy them straight away, but you know, when you're starting to get a little bit more serious, you could probably benefit from getting some elbow sleeves. These are from Team Industry. Like I say, these particular ones, I think they're around £35. So, you know, that is a bigger investment. You can get cheaper alternatives. Will they be as good? No. So it depends on how much you're looking to try and invest. But elbow sleeves, item number one. Let's go with, right, I have probably 4 or 5 pair of these in here because I've just acquired them over time. These are lifting straps. Okay, so lifting straps you tend to use in your back sessions, and what they will do, if I can figure this one out, it's all tangled up. So you put it through like so, and it sits through your wrist like that. You'll wrap it over the bar, and then you're able to assist with your grip and not have to go any lighter with your loads. So with back, you think of like the musculature of the back, how big that muscle is in your entire back, and then the musculature of your forearm. Your forearm's going to give out way before you've really made the most out of your back. So this is what lifting straps can do. You can put them on right and wrong. I say right and wrong. You can utilize and definitely get the most out of them. So you see how this is sitting across my hand now? That, in my opinion, is how you want to do it. And then with a bar, I use the gym pin as a minute. The bar always wants to go between your hand and the wrap. Never wrap over the bar. You always want the bar between your hand and the wrap, and then you go over once, and then you wrap into it like so, and then that would be the strap in place. So lifting straps, I'll be honest, probably the cheapest accessory you could buy, looking at £4 or £5. If you go on Amazon, they're probably even cheaper than that, but highly beneficial. Again, another item, you could probably get these quite early on in your lifting career to really get the most out of getting a feel for your back movement. So lifting straps were item number 2. The item I just picked up to use as a bar, this is a gym pin. Now, a gym pin, this is probably going to be the least needed item on the list in terms of what this item does on a lot of machines. Okay, I would put this on, and now any machines that are pin loaded, I can put this onto the machine, and then I can add weights onto that machine as well. Caution, not a lot of gyms will like you using a gym pin because most pin loaded machines are stress tested to be able to withhold the amount of weight that is on that stack. Meaning if I add this on and then put extra weight on top, the cable that it's now running on is being stress tested and loaded over what it's been manufactured to be made. So luckily, I train at Pro Strength Fitness, and they are happy for me to use this item here. It's very, very good. Gympin, Ben from Gympin, makes absolutely fantastic bits of kit. I've got another one in here to show you in just a moment. But yes, Gympin, not going to be needed by a newcomer, but something that I do carry in my bag. Next item. Right, a lifting belt. Lifting belts are very good. I've had this one too many years. It's actually a personalized one that I've got made. Where did I get it done? Custom crown, or I can't remember if it's custom belts or crown custom belts. Now, lifting belts are very good at helping you brace and stabilize your core. Straight away, things like squats and deadlifts. Now, do you need a lifting belt? No. Can it aid you in proper bracing as you are lifting? Yes. In terms of if you're new to the gym, do I think you should get a lifting belt? No, because you should learn the basics without. And once you get a good foundation a few months in, adding a lifting belt then will benefit. This is a buckle type belt. So obviously I would put it around my waist, and then just like a normal belt you would put on your trousers, you obviously put it through, and you're looking to go around your sort of torso, above and around your belly button. You don't really want to wear it low like you would a trouser belt. You can get clips and lever belts as well, and Velcro belts. Velcro belts are okay, but what you'll find is the Velcro will wear away, and then as you go to brace and pressure down with your core, the Velcro will actually rip off. So a buckle belt and a lever belt are a lot better, in my opinion, than a Velcro belt. Next up on the bag of items, these are wrist wraps. Okay, so not to be confused with lifting straps. Oh, Steve. So wrist wraps, I use these every pressing session. I have got terrible, rubbish wrists. And what these lifting wraps allow me to do is to go around my wrist like so. And again, Velcro onto the back. So now my wrist is secured and supported. You can see that's me trying to move my wrist as hard as I can. And that's not going anywhere. These are extra long ones. These are from a company called Cerberus. They don't come standard in this length. They probably come standard in about half, which is about probably to there. That would be a normal length for a wrist wrap. For someone new, do you need them new to training? No, again, not until you start to get up and get to some heavier weights. Are things like a lifting wrist wrap going to be beneficial? Price range, these Cerberus ones, again, are probably around the 30 to 40 pound mark, because they are heavy duty, robust. I've had these, we're going on 6, 7 years now. So this is where, when you buy high end and you buy top market, you do get the longevity out of them. In my opinion, this is my passion. Training is my passion. So whenever I invest in lifting equipment, whenever I invest in lifting equipment or anything to do with training, I know I'm going to get my money out of it. So I don't mind, in my own opinion, spending a bit of extra money. But lifting straps, another good thing to have in the bag. What else have we got that I shall chat about? Right. So similar to the first item, which was the knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, I now have knee wraps. Okay, so these wraps go on like so. So you put it over there, and then I tend to wrap outside of the knee. So you go over once, over twice, keep coming round, and then I just tie it off by pulling it and looping it under. My knee is now supported, so things like heavy squats and like leg press sets, I would use this on. Again, it's not a item to be probably not for a first timer and someone new into the gym. These industry ones are a little bit more heavy duty. Industry actually have an even heavier duty pair than these that are more for powerlifting. These are their just sort of everyday lifting ones. But again, if you did want to invest in something like this, I would probably recommend you get just a more standard pair, get used to those, and then look to invest into lifting more high-end ones like these maybe later down the line. Because again, it's as you develop as a lifter, your lifting equipment will become better. Okay, but the foundation needs to be there first of all. You can't just go and buy these knee sleeves and then expect to start squatting 220 plus. You know, you have to have a good squat there first of all, and then you know the equipment comes with it. All right, we are definitely getting through a lot of kit here now. I didn't want to make this video too long. What else will be in here worth talking about? I've done lifting straps, knee sleeves, done a gym pin. I mentioned this one, which is another one from Gym Pin. So Ben's got a very good attachment here for a rope. This is a tricep attachment. So obviously you clip it on. Now, the way this is fashioned, it can ergonomically sit on your hand and wrist quite well. And I've actually found with a lot of elbow irritation I've had before, this takes away from that. There's obviously other versatile movements that you can do with this, some back movements as well. But I like to keep it in my gym bag because again, it's quite a versatile bit of kit, and we can make good use out of that. Nothing really else on there that I was going to mention. What have I got in the front? Bit of Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm is just like a rub that I would put on elbows and knees as just a bit of a pre-workout stable, I suppose, just to get the area nice and warm before I then train it and do my warm-up protocols. The only other thing that I brought over that I thought might be worthwhile talking about, but is not a necessity, are lifting shoes. Okay, so these are Olympic lifting shoes. They've got a very hard and solid heel, so it's part of the shoe, obviously, and it helps with ankle mobility and a very flat surface. To lift in, you definitely want flatter shoes. Any sort of like air bubbles or Nike trainers particularly to squat in are terrible. You don't want your foot to be moving and unstable as you're doing heavier lifts. So you might notice people that deadlift quite a lot, they'll do it without shoes on. I deadlift without shoes all the time because as I apply pressure, I want that pressure to go into the floor straight away, not have to transfer through a trainer and through an air bubble and then it get offset as such, if that makes sense. But with squats, you know, when you first use something like this, then you know, they've got the 2 Velcro straps on these ones. Your foot feels completely like cemented in place, which is a nice feeling when you've got then obviously a heavy weight on your back to squat with. In terms of a newbie lifter, absolutely not. This is something that a more experienced lifter and someone who's probably a good few years into training and has a solid foundation of squatting, you then go and invest in. Something like these are, you know, £75 and up. So, you know, you're going to want to be serious into your training if you decide to invest in something like Olympic lifting shoes or squat shoes. So yeah, don't need these if you're new into lifting. I think that is pretty much it. I'll crack on, mate. No stress. Nothing else really that I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, supplements is another area completely. But in terms of just gym bag and gym equipment, some of the ones I would sort of definitely think about as a new lifter, the lifting straps was one, and then maybe possibly the belt. 2 that you'll get early on into your lifting career once you develop a good routine. Other than that, the rest I would say could probably get bought along the way and as you develop. But like I say, guys, all part of the lifting career that I've done over 20 years. It's none of it is made it any easier. It's just helps me lift safely, helps me lift a little bit more thought of my form, I should say, as well. That's what like a belt allows me to do, is think about my form and brace and feel that bracing better with a belt. But hope that was somewhat insightful. Any questions or anything in regards to any advice on any of the kit that you've seen, send me a message. I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction. Like I say, not really. I've bought all of this equipment myself, so anything here has been my own investment because I've thought it's been beneficial for me. So I'm more than happy to talk to you in that front. But best of luck with everyone with their training plans and nutrition into the new year. Now, any help needed on that? I myself offer online coaching, so shoot me a Instagram message, JoshLaw7, or contact me on email, which is joshLaw7@hotmail.co.uk, and I'll be sure to help you out. If you're in the Swindon, Wiltshire area, be sure to come down and check out Pro Strength and Fitness. And if you need any gym attire, be sure to check out Heavy Duty, or a new gym bag. Be sure to check out Heavy Duty. And for any supplements or pre-workouts, go over to HR Labs and use code LAW15. Get a little bit of a discount there. All right, guys, all the best. I'll see you on the next one.